Hello there, this is Alex again, and I am continuing my sort of journal of my HSCT journey, and this is coming after a little bit of a hiatus because I last recorded a video, I think 3 months ago, and I basically thought I was going to document the who's and whatevers of my hospital stay, but it actually wasn't that sort of private an environment. Although I did have a room to myself, I just didn't feel comfortable filming whilst I was inside the hospital. So apologies for any subscribers who've had to wait for a follow-up video, but I can let you all know a little bit about my hospital experience. Previous to this, once I was admitted in the hospital for 5 days of chemotherapy and ATG, and then a little bit of a break, and then they were going to reintroduce my stem cells back in, and I don't know what ambitious voice in my head told me that I was going to be leaving the hospital in 2 weeks. No, it was dead on 3 weeks to the day. By the end of the time, I was climbing the walls, because it's just a very airless environment. I don't know how it is in other hospitals, but the way HSCT treatment plan is structured is that you are in Hammersmith Hospital, you are put into a cancer ward. So basically all the windows are sealed shut. It's a very sort of sterile environment, and I just had a very tight little sort of cell, but I mean, not to be ungrateful, very happy with my treatment there. All of the staff were fantastic. They could not do enough for me, and the treatments that they were giving me, the chemotherapy, the ATG, were absolutely fine, aside from maybe 2 nights in, and it was the first day that they'd given me the ATG, and then I had a complete reaction. My temperature went through the roof. Well, not through the roof, it was elevated, and because the temperature rose, it's basically gave me a bit of an MS flare-up. So I went numb completely from the chest downwards, so I couldn't use my arms, couldn't use my legs, I couldn't sit myself up because I didn't have any control of my sort of core muscles. So that was that was a bit of a nightmare. They immediately did give me steroids. I think it was prednisolone, predmethalone something, to counteract this, and within an hour I was feeling completely so much better. So aside from that one little hiccup, I did not feel really bad at any point during the hospitalisation. I did have, as a side effect of the chemotherapy, water tasted disgusting, hospital water anyway, so I had to use cordials and things to sort of disguise the taste of water, because for some reason, inexplicably, I just couldn't tolerate it, couldn't stomach it. And my sense of smell was a bit weird as well. But no, I mean, almost straight off, I started to feel better than I had done for the preceding year before going into hospital, because I think it was the lesions that had sort of culminated, had been tamped down or sort of dealt with by the treatment almost immediately. And then when they gave me my stem cells back, it was just to boost my immune system so I could sort of survive once they let me out of hospital. So the initial hospitalization was absolutely fine. The whole stay was it felt like it was forever, but that's just because hospital visits, hospitalization is a bit of a drag anyway. but the treatments, the food was fantastic. I'm a vegan, and they really had a whole separate menu for me. Nothing was too much trouble. They would bring me ice pops just because they were thinking I needed to have more water, be more hydrated. They were trying to really do anything they could to make me as comfortable as possible. And after 5 days of the ATG and the chemotherapy, I had a rest day, and then I was given back my stem cells. So that would be a lot of people call it their stem cell birthdays. It was basically a man with a nitro tank who hung up another infusion, and it was just very same as anything else. It wasn't anything out of the ordinary. I had so many infusions throughout the hospital. That it was just one of many. Another slight, not great thing was by the end of it, because I've got incredibly rubbish veins. They had to keep giving me different infusions, and they had to use it in my hands, in my arms. They had to because I couldn't keep one sort of catheter in my arm. It would just, I don't know the technical terms for it, but they had to take it out and remove it. I think that my PICC line they had to remove because of bacteria got in there. Whether I was showering, I had to wrap it in plastic, but whether or not it got a little bit wet, that then got bacteria in it. They had to remove this. They had to remove any of the infusions that they put into my arm, so I had to be stabbed every single time. And I was getting edema in my hands where the catheters had been in my hands. So that was a bit rubbish, but other than that, I mean, that's small potatoes in the grand scheme of things. I felt better leaving the hospital. I felt amazing just being in the fresh air. As soon as I left the hospital, I sort of expected to feel the effects of the stem cell treatment, that it would immediately curtail all of my MS symptoms. It's not been that way, but they are saying that any and all improvement in my MS, the damage caused by MS, anything that's improved will probably take about a year. So sometime in the next sort of year, I'll keep updating videos every few months, but it's been about 3 months, not quite, since I had my stem cells back into the body. And I have to say, I am feeling so much less fatigue. It's like night and day, considering I was just, absolutely. It's like you don't realise until you come out of it how bad it was previously. But I mean, I'm not, like skipping down the street and off climbing mountains, but I do feel so much more energized. I feel like a little black cloud of fatigue has just been sort of pulled slightly away from me. So there's definitely improvements there. My bladder urgency, I think that was something that I was struggling with before, and it wasn't so much incontinence per se. It was more that I constantly felt like I had to go to the loo. So I would never stray too far from a toilet, and I would go about 100 times a day. Maybe not quite 100, but it felt like a lot of time. That's massively improved. I feel like I'm still not 100% confident to stray too far from a toilet, but I do feel much more secure that I can, withstand going to the shop and not have to have a wee before I go, and then a wee immediately after I come back, and it's given me a little bit more freedom that way. My general walking, there seems to be a lot more strength in my legs already, even though it's only been 3 months. I use my stationary bike, so that's probably helped as well, to sort of build up any muscles. But I do feel like I'm capable of walking a little bit further than I was previously. I don't feel my balance has improved massively. I'm constantly covered in bruises where I'm sort of falling into walls or falling on furniture or whatever, but that might be because I'm sort of herring around a little bit faster than I used to be. So I just need to maybe steady myself a little bit. My hair is growing back, which is good. Looks a bit grey in this light, but I promise you it's very dark in reality. But yeah, so I was a bit worried because I didn't think it would come back curly, but I can see that it is very curly. Well, it's starting to curl anyway. So yay, that's great. My eyelashes have come back because I didn't actually realise I hadn't got any eyelashes. So I bought a new mascara and I was like, oh, this mascara's rubbish. And then I realised I'd only got 2 or 3 eyelashes literally on my eyelid. So they've all come back. They're a little bit shorter than they were. I'm not massively thrilled with the length, but yeah, they seem to have come back, grown back. Body hair in general has come back, which is a bit of a tragedy because I was quite enjoying not having to epilate my legs. And what else? My memory is still a bit iffy, and my general cognition, so my general sort of cog fog, it's still present, so hopefully that might improve. Other than that, I think I'm just going to take it one step at a time, and I can give you checkups as and when I sort of proceed. So maybe a little bit later I'll sort of show you or tell you how I'm feeling. But for now, I think that's just about everything. So thank you very much. If you can like, subscribe, or just watch my video, I would be very, very grateful, very appreciative. I'm trying to sort of boost my my channel a little bit, my views, which are a little paltry at the moment, but if I could get a little MS support from my fellow MSers, that would be wonderful. But if you have any questions, don't forget to comment me. If you have had different experiences, I'd love to hear from you. And basically, yeah, good luck to everybody who is on the same journey, and I will keep in touch.